Hey y'all, welcome to Pratt Made That, and the second video of the mini-series Picket Project, where I make things using only simple fence pickets. Today's project, a modern planter, so let's get to it.
Since some of the pickets were pretty rough, it was going to be easier to plane them first rather than try to sand them later with a belt sander. So after planing, I ripped them to 2.5 inches. After ripping, I took the pieces to the miter saw and cut to 9 1/8 inch long. Before cutting all the pieces, I did go ahead and cut 6 to confirm that my pot fit inside the planter. After sanding all the front faces and the edges, it was time for glue up. Since end grain is notorious for sucking up glue, I went ahead and put a thin layer on each face first, and then went back and did my main layer before putting the pieces together. Then to clamp it all together, I'm using a standard ratchet strap and leaving it in the clamp for a few hours. To stack the pieces on top of each other, I'm using some 1/4 inch dowel. So here, I'm marking the center points of each piece so I can align my dowel jig and have the dowels go into the same spot between each piece. Since each layer is not exactly the same, I made sure to number them so that the dowels were aligned correctly. I'm using a 3D printed dowel jig with a 3/8 outer diameter and 1/4 inch inner diameter bushing. I'm then using my 1/4 inch drill bit with a stop collar to ensure my holes are a 1/2 inch deep. After all the holes are drilled, it's time to install the dowels. I cut those dowels to 1.5 inches long, that way a 1/2 inch could go into the hole above and below it, and a 1/2 inch space would be left between each layer.
Alright, so I'm going to stop here because I want the second ring down. This one right here, this one's going to be white, and the rest of these, and then the one on top of it, are going to be the brown stain. So it's going to be easier to paint it separate and then finish the assembly after painting.
After going out and buying a new orbital sander, I went ahead and sanded everything down to 150 grit and smoothed out the edges before staining. For stain, I went with Valspar's Canyon Brown exterior wood sealer, and for the white, I'm just using some Krylon spray paint. I'm not super impressed with the Krylon product and would choose Rust-Oleum in the future. With the staining complete, all that's left now is to finish assembly and add the blocks inside the planter for the actual pot to sit on.
Well, that's a wrap on another Picket project. I hope you all enjoyed the video. A couple stats before I go. This was 3 fence pickets worth of wood. That's $6. You really can't beat that, and it was a pretty simple project. So if you guys like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share so other people can see some of this cool stuff. Next week, I will be showing you guys a video on how to do a modern planter bench out of fence pickets. So make sure you tune in for that, and I will see y'all next week. Bye for now.